Om Shanti. Withdraw your attention from the outside world and bring it to yourself. Come in the present moment. Be aware of where you are and who you are. For a few moments, just experience that you are alone in this world. No baggage, no burden, doing the most important thing, healing yourself. Focus at the center of your forehead and feel that you are a divine light shining like a star. Feel that I am enough for myself. I accept myself. I love myself for who I am. I see my weaknesses, but I accept them. I embrace them. I know everyone has some imperfections, and so do I. But I acknowledge it. I am not hiding from it. I accept them. Take a minute. Ask yourself, what is that one weakness I want to change, transform, but I accept it? Only I know my journey. I don't want acceptance, acknowledgement, appreciation from people. I appreciate my journey, my progress. I respect myself. Being compassionate to myself is my natural state of being. I forgive myself for all the mistakes I made when I was unaware. I am a loveful being. Being loving is my virtue. I experience an ocean of love within myself and I radiate it to everyone around me. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Good afternoon. How is everyone today? So, should we continue with the reading? I'll just share my screen. Okay, so is the screen visible to everyone? Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll continue. Okay. Couldn't a negative emotion also contain an important message? For example, if I often feel depressed, it may be a signal that there is something wrong with my life, and it may force me to look at my life situation and make some changes. So I need to listen to what the emotion is telling me and not just dismiss it as negative. So this is what the seeker is asking the author. Okay, so the author says, yes, Recurring negative emotions do sometimes contain a message, as do illnesses. But any changes that you make, whether they have to do with your work, your relationships, or your surroundings, are ultimately only cosmetic, unless they arise out of a change in your level of consciousness. And as far as that is concerned, it can only mean one thing: becoming more present. When you have reached a certain degree of presence, you don't need negativity anymore to tell you what is needed in your life situation. But as long as negativity is there, use it. Use it as a kind of signal that reminds you to be more present. So basically, I think the author is saying to pay attention to it and just use it to be present. Just be aware of the emotions that are there inside you. So the seeker says, how do we stop negativity from arising? And how do we get rid of it once it is there? So the author says, as I said, you stop it from arising by being fully present. But don't become discouraged. There are as yet few people on the planet who can sustain a state of continuous presence, although some are getting close to it. Soon, I believe there will be many more. Whenever you notice that some form of negativity has arisen within you, look on it not as a failure, but as a helpful signal that is telling you, wake up, get out of your mind, be present. There is a novel by Aldous Huxley called Island, written in his later years when he became very interested in spiritual teachings. It tells the story of a man shipwrecked on a remote island, cut off from the rest of the world. This island contains a unique civilization. The unusual thing about it is that its inhabitants, unlike those of the rest of the world, are actually sane. The first thing that the man notices are the colorful parrots perched in the trees, and they seem to be constantly croaking the words, attention, here and now, attention, here and now. We later learn that the islanders taught them these words in order to be reminded continuously to stay present. So we need to keep telling ourselves these words so that we constantly stay in the present. So whenever you feel negativity arising within you, whether caused by an external factor, a thought, or even nothing in particular that you are aware of, look on it as a voice saying, attention, here and now, wake up. Even the slightest irritation is significant and needs to be acknowledged and looked at. Otherwise, there will be a cumulative buildup of unobserved reactions. As I said before, you may be able to just drop it once you realize that you don't want to have this energy field inside you and that it serves no purpose. But then make sure that you drop it completely. If you cannot drop it, just accept that it is there and take your attention into the feeling, as I pointed out earlier. As an alternative to dropping a negative reaction, you can make it disappear by imagining yourself becoming transparent to the external cause of the reaction. I recommend that you practice it with little, even trivial things first. Let's say that you are sitting quietly at home. Suddenly, there is the penetrating sound of a car alarm from across the street. Irritation arises. You must have experienced this. What is the purpose of the irritation? None whatsoever. Why did you create it? You didn't. The mind did. It was totally automatic, totally unconscious. Why did the mind create it? Because it holds the unconscious belief that its resistance, which you experience as negativity or unhappiness in some form, will somehow dissolve the undesirable condition. This, of course, is a delusion. The resistance that it creates, the irritation or anger in this case, is far more disturbing than the original cause, that is, that it is attempting to dissolve. So the resistance that it creates, the irritation or anger in this case, is far more disturbing than the original cause that it is attempting to dissolve. This is so relatable because our mind just starts creating all this resistance, but actually it is a delusion. It's not going to solve the condition outside. We have to come into present. All this can be transformed into spiritual practice. Feeling yourself, becoming transparent as it were, without the solidity of a material body. Now allow the noise or whatever causes a negative reaction to pass right through you. It is no longer hitting a solid wall inside you. As I said, practice with little things first. The car alarm, the dog barking, the child screaming, the traffic jam. Instead of having a wall of resistance inside you that gets constantly and painfully hit by things that should not be happening, let everything pass through you. Somebody says something to you that is rude or designed to hurt. Instead of going into unconscious reaction and negativity, such as attack, defense, or withdrawal, you let it pass right through you. So that's why the author is saying first practice with little things that happen around you. So that if something, happens directly with you, if somebody is rude to you, you just let it pass through you. Offer no resistance. It is as if there is nobody there to get hurt anymore. That is forgiveness. Wow. In this way, you become invulnerable. You can still tell that person that his or her behavior is unacceptable if that is what you choose to do, but that person no longer has the power to control your inner state. So that's very important, that our inner state should be the same no matter what is happening in the outside world. We have to be calm and peaceful inside. And that doesn't mean that we don't stand up for ourselves or we don't set our boundaries. We do that. But internally, we are at peace and we are calm. You are then in your power, not in someone else's, nor are you run by your mind. Whether it is a car alarm, a rude person, a flood, an earthquake, or the loss of all your possessions, the resistance mechanism is the same. So what the seeker is saying, I have been practicing meditation. I have been to workshops. I have read many books on spirituality. I try to be in a state of non-resistance. But if you ask me whether I have found true and lasting inner peace, my honest answer would have to be no. Why haven't I found it? What else can I do? You are still seeking outside, and you cannot get out of the seeking mode. Maybe the next workshop will have the answer. Maybe that new technique. To you, I would say, don't look for peace. Don't look for any other state than the one you are in now. Otherwise, you will set up inner conflict and unconscious resistance. Forgive yourself for not being at peace. The moment you completely accept your non-peace, your non-peace becomes transmuted into peace. Anything you accept fully will get you there, will take you into peace. This is the miracle of surrender. So the author has explained so beautifully about surrendering that we don't need to look for peace anywhere. We need to find it within ourselves. We need to accept ourselves the way we are. And that will eventually, transmute the non-peace into peace. You may have heard the phrase, turn the other cheek, which a great teacher of enlightenment used 2000 years ago. He was attempting to convey symbolically the secret of non-resistance and non-reaction. In this statement, as in all his others, he was concerned only with your inner reality, not with the outer conduct of your life. Do you know the story of Banzan? Before he became a great Zen master, he spent years in the pursuit of enlightenment, but it eluded him. Then one day, as he was walking in the marketplace, he overheard a conversation between a butcher and his customer. Give me the best piece of meat you have, said the customer. And the butcher replied, every piece of meat I have is the best. There is no piece of meat here that is not the best. Upon hearing this, Banzan became enlightened, sorry. I can see you're waiting for some explanation. When you accept what is, every piece of meat, every moment is the best. That is enlightenment. So how simply the author has defined enlightenment, just accepting everything for what it is. Okay, so we move on. The nature of compassion. Having gone beyond the mind-made opposites, you become like a deep lake. The outer situation of your life and whatever happens there is the surface of the lake. Sometimes calm, sometimes windy and rough, according to the cycles and seasons. Deep down, however, the lake is always undisturbed. You are the whole lake, not just the surface. And you are in touch with your depth, which remains absolutely still. You don't resist change by mentally clinging to any situation. Your inner peace does not depend on it. You abide in being, unchanging, timeless, deathless, and you are no longer dependent for fulfillment or happiness on the outer world of constantly fluctuating forms. You can enjoy them, play with them, create new forms, appreciate the beauty of it all, but there will be no need to attach yourself to any of it. So the author is saying you look at yourself like a calm lake, which is always calm within, no matter what is going on the surface. It is calm inside and it is still. So the seeker asks, when you become this detached, does it not mean that you also become remote from other human beings? Okay, so this is important. So the author says, on the contrary, as long as you are unaware of being, the reality of other humans will elude you because you have not found your own. Your mind will like or dislike their form, which is not just their body, but includes their mind as well. True relationship becomes possible only when there is an awareness of being. Coming from being, you will perceive another person's body and mind as just a screen, as it were, behind which you can feel their true reality as you feel yours. So you'll become more soul conscious and you will look at them as a soul. So when confronted with someone else's suffering or unconscious behavior, you stay present and in touch with being, and are thus able to look beyond the form and feel the other person's radiant and pure being through your own. At the level of being, all suffering is recognized as an illusion. Suffering is due to identification with form. When we start identifying ourselves with our body, with our mind, that brings suffering because internally we are all the same. You know, we are all children of the Supreme Soul. We all have those same virtues. So when we start identifying ourselves as a soul and looking at others as well, that's when, the suffering just ends. Miracles of healing sometimes occur through this realization by awakening being, consciousness in others, if they are ready. So miracles of healing sometimes occur through this realization by awakening being consciousness in others, if they are ready. So the seeker is asking, is that what compassion is? Yes, compassion is the awareness of a deep bond between yourself and all creatures. But there are two sides to compassion, two sides to this bond. On the one hand, since you are still here as a physical body, you share the vulnerability and mortality of your physical form with every other human and with every living being. So the author is saying there are two sides to compassion. One is when you're in a physical body and you share the same with every living being. Next time you say, I have nothing in common with this person, remember that you have a great deal in common. a few years from now, 2 years or 70 years, it doesn't make much difference. Both of you will have become rotting corpses, then piles of dust, then nothing at all. This is a sobering and humbling realization that leaves little room for pride. So this is the reality that we need to understand, and it's so important. Is this a negative thought? No, it is a fact. Why close your eyes to it? In that sense, there is total equality between you and every other creature. One of the most powerful spiritual practices is to meditate deeply on the mortality of physical forms, including your own. This is called die before you die. Wow, so important, so profound. Go into it deeply. Your physical form is dissolving, is no more. Then a moment comes when all mind forms or thoughts also die. Yet you are still there, the divine presence that you are, radiant, fully awake. Nothing that was real ever died, only names, forms, and illusions. So this is one of the most powerful spiritual practices, is to, sort of just feel that you're not there anymore. You die before you die, as the author is saying. And then you realize that nothing is true. And nothing that was real dies. It's only the name, forms, and illusions. That's so true. The realization of this deathless dimension, your true nature, is the other side of compassion. On a deep feeling level, you now recognize not only your own immortality, but through your own, that of every creature as well. On the level of form, you share mortality and the precariousness of existence. On the level of being, you share eternal radiant life. These are the two aspects of compassion. In compassion, the seemingly opposite feelings of sadness and joy merge into one and become transmuted into a deep inner peace. This is the peace of God. It is one of the most noble feelings that humans are capable of, and it has great healing and transformative power. But true compassion, as I have just described it, is as yet rare. To have deep empathy for the suffering of another being certainly requires a high degree of consciousness, but represents only one side of compassion. It is not complete. True compassion goes beyond empathy or sympathy. It does not happen until sadness merges with joy, the joy of being, beyond form, the joy of eternal life. So the author has explained very beautifully that there are two sides. One is the physical side and one is the eternal side. The side of when you become truly alert and aware and you're totally in your complete consciousness, that's when true compassion happens. Okay, so the next, toward a different order of reality. So the seeker is saying, I don't agree that the body needs to die. I am convinced that we can achieve physical immortality. We believe in death, and that's why the body dies. Okay, so the author says, the body does not die because you believe in death. The body exists or seems to because you believe in death. Body and death are part of the same illusion created by the egoic mode of consciousness, which has no awareness of the source of life, and it sees itself as a separate and constantly under threat. So it creates the illusion that you are a body, a dense physical vehicle that is constantly under threat. To perceive yourself as a vulnerable body that was born and a little later dies, that's the illusion. Body and death, one illusion. You cannot have one without the other. You want to keep one side of the illusion and get rid of the other. But that is impossible. Either you keep all of it or you relinquish all of it. However, you cannot escape from the body, nor do you have to. The body is an incredible misperception of your true nature. Your true nature is concealed somewhere within that illusion, not outside it. So the body is still the only point of access to it. If you saw an angel but mistook it for a stone statue, all you would have to do is adjust your vision and look more closely at the stone statue. Not start looking somewhere else. You would then find that there never was a stone statue. If belief in death creates the body, why does an animal have a body? An animal doesn't have an ego and it doesn't believe in death. The author is saying, but it still dies or seems to. Remember that your perception of the world is a reflection of your state of consciousness. So what we think and what we believe, that is what we see the world as. You're not separate from it. And there is no objective world out there. Every moment, your consciousness creates the world that you inhabit. One of the greatest insights that has come out of modern physics is that of the unity between the observer and the observed. The person conducting the experiment, the observing consciousness, cannot be separated from the observed phenomena. So we can't separate ourselves from the body. It's there. But the soul is what is immortal. And a different way of looking causes the observed phenomena to behave differently. If you believe on a deep level in separation and the struggle for survival, then you see that belief reflected all around you. And your perceptions are governed by fear. You inhabit a world of death and of bodies fighting, killing, and devouring each other. Nothing is what it seems to be. The world that you create and see through the egoic mind may seem a very imperfect place, even a vale of tears. But whatever you perceive is only a kind of symbol, like an image in a dream. It is how your consciousness interprets and interacts with the molecular energy dance of the universe. So basically, all of this is just a drama. You can look at it like a dream. And that is when you realize that nothing is real. It is how your consciousness interprets and interacts with the molecular energy dance of the universe. This energy is the raw material of so-called physical reality. You see it in terms of bodies and birth and death, or as a struggle for survival. An infinite number of completely different interpretations, completely different worlds is possible and in fact exists, all depending on the perceiving consciousness. An infinite number of completely different interpretations, completely different worlds is possible and in fact exists, all depending on the perceiving consciousness. Every being is a focal point of consciousness, and every such focal point creates its own world, although all those worlds are interconnected. There is a human world, an ant world, a dolphin world, and so on. There are countless beings whose consciousness frequency is so different from yours that you are probably unaware of their existence, as they are of yours. There are countless beings whose consciousness frequency is so different from yours that you are probably unaware of their existence as they are of yours. Highly conscious beings who are aware of their connectedness with the source and with each other would inhabit a world that to you would appear as a heavenly realm. And yet, all worlds are ultimately one. Our collective human world is largely created through the level of consciousness we call mind. Even within the collective human world, there are vast differences, many different subworlds, depending on the perceivers or creators of their respective worlds. Since all worlds are interconnected, when collective human consciousness becomes transformed, nature and the animal kingdom will reflect that transformation. Hence, the statement in the Bible that in the coming age, the lion shall lie down with the lamb. This points to the possibility of a completely different order of reality. The world as it appears to us now is, as I said, largely a reflection of the egoic mind. Fear being an unavoidable consequence of egoic delusion, it is a world dominated by fear. Just as the images in a dream are symbols of inner states and feelings, so our collective reality is largely a symbolic expression of fear and of the heavy layers of negativity that have accumulated in the collective human psyche. So the author is saying, just as the images in a dream are symbols of inner states. So when we are when we are in a dream, it's not real what we are seeing. So they are just symbols of inner states and feelings. So our collective reality is largely a symbolic expression of fear and of the heavy layers of negativity that have accumulated in the collective human psyche, which has been going on from so many births. We are not separate from our world. So when the majority of humans become free of egoic delusion, this inner change will affect all of creation. When majority of humans become free of egoic delusion, this inner change will affect all of creation. This is important. You will literally inhabit a new world. It is a shift in planetary consciousness. The strange Buddhist saying that every tree and every blade of grass will eventually become enlightened points to the same truth. According to Saint Paul, the whole of creation is waiting for humans to become enlightened. Wow. That is how I interpret his saying that the created universe is waiting with eager expectation for God's sons to be revealed. Saint Paul goes on to say that all of creation will become redeemed through this. Up to the present, the whole created universe in all its parts groans as if in the pangs of childbirth. Okay, I think I'll just finish this last paragraph. What is being born is a new consciousness, and as its inevitable reflection, a new world. This is also foretold in the New Testament book of Revelation. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Wow, this is so profound. So I think we'll finish here today. So would anyone want to share their experience of today's reading, what they learned? Does anyone want to share this? Yeah, Rajiv ji has raised his hand. Okay.
The writers want to say that. Am I audible?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, you're audible. Yes, you're audible.
Om Shanti Shiva.
Shampoo.
The writer wants to communicate us that the whole world is waiting for our uh,
Yeah. Is waiting for us to awaken. Is that what you're saying?
awaken.
Yeah.
That we are because we have ego and so many things, which is the hurdle, and
Yeah.
now we have to free from that, and after that we will be free for all that, and the whole world will celebrate that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. That's very true. Is
Because
that it, Rajiv ji? Yeah, sorry.
that's how
Yeah.
we cut and eat the fruit, but they never protest. They they
Mm,
surrender.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Does anyone else want to share what they understood today? Yes, Sujata ji. Thank you. Okay.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yes.
Yeah, today author has told two sides of compassion, physical and spiritual,
Mm.
which is actually some new concept which we have learned. Other thing is about death also. It's something different how it is illusion. Then the future world, if we come out of our egoic mind, then he has talked about the future world, which is called Satyug in brahmakumaris. Exactly the same picture we can imagine.
Yeah.
So these things are very new, and if we really do seva to help other human being who are they don't know about conscious or awareness and transform the world, then it will be real change, because now we are at the peak of all vices. If we can contribute to the world transformation, then our karma also will be good. Okay. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you, sister. Yeah, that's so true. What we learn in Brahmakumaris is the same as what the author has said today. So it is the change in the change in the consciousness that's going to bring the new world, the Satyug. Yeah. Thank you so much, sister, for sharing. Okay. Kiran, sister. Yes. Are you able to unmute, sister?
Om
Yeah.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
From today lecture, whatever I understand, the whole crux, I think it was just a conscious state. Like Shiv Baba also tell us, from Satyug to now, only the difference is the consciousness. When our consciousness will change, it will change the whole world. And every creature, it is waiting for our consciousness change. And when our consciousness will change, the Satyug will automatically come. So today the crux is only, I think it's consciousness. Consciousness is very important for each and every moment.
Mm. Thank you so much, sister. Yeah, you said it very beautifully. That it is the change in consciousness that is going to bring a change in the world.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you, sister, for sharing. Okay, I've got a message from Paul Wilson, brother. Okay, if we let If we let others' rude comments pass through, that is good enough to keep our state of mind peaceful. But wouldn't that send a wrong message to the rude person that he or she can continue behaving the same way, since this person will not react to them no matter what they do or say? Okay, brother, for this, it is not that you don't say anything to if somebody is being rude to you. It's not that you just listen and don't react. You react externally, but not internally. Internally, you have to be at peace, at calm, because whatever it is, the person, even who is being rude, they are the same. The soul is the same. The soul has the same innate virtues, but you have to be calm within and you can say whatever you feel, but the internal stillness and peace is important. That's what I understand. I hope that has helped you. Okay. So we'll go on to the questions now. Okay, so the first question is, when somebody says something rude or unpleasant to you, how can you let it pass through you without triggering an unconscious reaction? Okay, so you are answering this question. What has the author suggested in this context? Okay, so would anyone else want to answer this question? Anyone wants to share their opinion? Yes, Sujata ji.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Yeah. Author has suggested that consider your physical body as transparent. So as the whatever rude thing comes through transparent material, it will pass through just. It will not be absorbed or reflected. It will just pass through. Same way, if we consider unpleasant or rude thing coming to us and passing through us, but not affecting us, just going through, then it cannot trigger at all. That is what author has suggested in this one. Om Shanti.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sister, for sharing. Okay. Rajiv ji has raised his hand.
Actually, we create a wall, and that sounds affects us. Rude or anything collided with us, and we retain it. So we need to remove the wall from us. The writer is saying in this manner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. What are the two aspects of compassion, and as explained in this book? Which spiritual practices have been recommended to nurture each of these aspects? So anyone would like to share? Just share whatever your opinion is. Anyone wants to share? There isn't any right or wrong. We're all learning and evolving together. So you can just share whatever you feel. Okay, should we move on to the next question then? The author says your perception of the world is a reflection of your state of consciousness. What does it mean? How can we shift our perspective to have a positive outlook? Anyone would like to share what they feel about this? Sujata ji, Rajiv ji. Okay, Anuja ji has raised her hand. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, sister.
Yeah, so regarding this, it is my own understanding. So basically, it's like that when even for one person, like for a person like me itself, we are in the same situation on two different days. On one day when we are empowered and we have positive frame of mind, then we are able to find positive in every situation, right? For example, if in my office the meeting did not go as per the way I had planned, on a positive day, I will definitely try to extract out good from that meeting. But on another day, when I'm not feeling so empowered and maybe I have not done my morning ritual as effectively, so that day I feel that if the meeting doesn't go as per the planning, so I'll try to have a blame game kind of thing. It happened because of this. I'll do over analysis of things. So
Yeah.
so it all boils down to the my own state of consciousness. If I am like totally empowered or in my soul conscious state or in my detached observer kind of a state, then I have the remote control to everything, my thoughts, my thought patterns, and then of course I try to perceive the world in a more positive way, and it reflects the way I take my immediate next actions as well. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, sister. You said it very beautifully. It is what what we are. They say what you are is what you get.
Yeah.
So that you explained it very beautifully, that when what you're feeling is what you'll get from outside as well. So thank you so much. Okay, Shashi ji, thank you.
Om Shanti sister.
Om Shanti sister.
I want to tell that we should remember, keep on reminding ourselves, our mind, that it's a world we are living in. It's a platform of drama. So everything goes around us. It's all drama only. It's in our in past karma and present karma. So by reminding ourselves in every time, keep on reminding, and we should create a boundaries in our in our life, so that external bad energy, negative energy, is not entered into my mind. So bad energies and negative energy, what we can say. So that our energy, which is positive and which is highly means God connected one, should impact the outer world. So uh, by this only we can keep our thoughts, our body, our mind in a safe position, and also of course by connecting Baba.
Mm.
So this is I
Yeah.
want to say.
No, thank you so much. That's very true. You said it very well. Thank you for sharing your views. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, so Indu sister.
ओम
Yes.
शांति।
Om Shanti sister.
जो मैं समझ पाई हूँ, जैसे कहते हैं ना, हम दुनिया को जिस चश्मे से देखेंगे तो दुनिया हमें वैसे ही नजर आएगी। अगर हम सोल कॉन्शियस हैं तो हम दूसरे को भी सोल देखेंगे, अगर हम बॉडी कॉन्शियस हैं तो दूसरे को भी हम उसी फॉर्म में देखेंगे। अगर हम सोल कॉन्शियस हैं तो हम अपने वर्च्यूज में रहेंगे और दूसरे के भी वर्च्यूज को देखेंगे, और हम जो है रिएक्ट करने की बजाय रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे, जो मैं समझी हुई है। थैंक यू।
हाँ जी, या दैट वाज वेरी नाइस। आपने जो कहा रिएक्ट करने के बजाय रिस्पॉन्ड, दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। कि यूजुअली हम रिएक्शन करते हैं, कुछ भी हो जाए, जस्ट egoic mind just wants to react, but it's important to think about it calmly first और फिर respond करना. So thank you so much. Yes, that was very profound. Okay, Kiran sister.
Yes, sister. Uh, I think it's totally about your conscious and unconscious state. Mostly, when I think mostly someone is not telling very well in past, so it was totally, it will totally irritate me. But now, when someone is saying or someone is praising me or criticizing me, so at that time I just remember only one thing: when someone is praising me, now its state of mind is good. Now that person is in conscious state, and mostly this thing will change my mind totally. So now I never judge that person. So it's about my perception now. So by if my perception is changing, so the world perception will automatically change. And at this time the world perception is egoic mind because of my perception is not changing, so the world perception is not changing. So first of all we need to change our perception.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, sister. Thank you so much. Okay, Sujata sister. Hanji.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yeah,
Hanji.
thank you for giving me opportunity, and thank you for you also for reading such a this chapter is really very important and different from whatever we have learned till now.
Yeah.
And this in this chapter, this part, that perception of the world is a reflection of our state of consciousness, is very important. If we really understand it deeply, then we will try to change, because we want to see good world. We want to live in a peaceful, joyful world. Nobody wants consciously to be in a suffering or bad or unpeaceful, disturbed condition. So, by deeply understanding the meaning of this, we will definitely make attempts to change our consciousness. Then,
Can you please
other
mute yourself, sister? Actually, sister, okay, maybe I'll have to do it. Okay,
then
sorry.
other thing in this context, I want to mention that regarding criticism coming to us. So, what I think is, when somebody close to us, like our child, criticizes you or point out something um, like criticism in you that you need to improve, then we don't feel bad, because we have a love for the child. We never have any other emotion for the child other than love. So, but same thing, same criticism, if it is pointed to us by someone else other than our child or close one, then we feel hurted and bad, and we take it very negatively. So that also shows that our perception of world is a reflection of our state of consciousness. Because now we are not conscious, we are in the egoic mind. So when we interact with our child, we will have only love. But when with others, we don't have that much same state of consciousness. So the other person criticizing us, we feel hurted and don't take it positively. That
Yeah.
shows that is a reflection of our state of consciousness. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sister, so much for sharing, for always being so active and participating. Thank you to everyone. Okay, so I think we'll end this session today. Thank you so much for participating. And, it's become, we're all learning and evolving together. So it's really nice to be in this journey together. All right. So we'll end this session with a beautiful song. And we'll see you all tomorrow again. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Take a chance to be who I'm meant to be. I won't let fear keep me from trying. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I won't live the life others expect of me. I want to be proud of who I'm becoming. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. 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 I'm never giving up.